Hello YouTubers, just having a chocolate ale that I made. Like I said on my last video, it's good, don't get me wrong, but I'd scale it back to a quarter of a cup of chocolate there and then. Then next time you'd know your taste or not. Today, anyways, we're making a Christmas pumpkin ale. This one here is going to be a mini mash. So we're going to use our base malt. We're going to use 2 pounds of 2-row. And we're going to use a kilogram or 2.2 pounds of light dried extract. We're going to use, you can use a tin, or I got this good extract here. They make that good and fresh where I am. Light liquid extract. And spices, we're going to have a teaspoon of cloves, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, teaspoon of cinnamon, and I might even put just a little dab of maple extract in it. So what we're going to do is do the base malts first, and with that we're going to add a cup of Crystal 60. That's your specialty grades. Now if you got Carapils, I just don't have any at the time. If I had Carapils, I'd throw a cup of that in there too, but that's all up to you guys. And so you boil 3 gallons of water, and well, actually we're going to steep first, so you get that up about 150 for your base malts, and we'll keep that in there a good 60 minutes or so. And then we're going to add some pumpkin pie filling. Now it doesn't matter if it's spiced or not. This has got spices in it, but then I'm just adding this amount of spices. I got all kinds of hops. I haven't decided yet. I got some Cascades, and I got some Saws, and I got some Amarillo. Amarillo is really good for bittering. We're going to use a kilogram of dark brown sugar, and anyways, we're gonna start that in a minute or so. I'm gonna nibble away at the beer, and we'll get started. Okay, we got this about 152, and what I do is I have one of these rigs right there. It's got little feet on it and that. I'll put that in the water. The reason why I do that is so I won't so your grains won't get burnt. So anyways, in these bags right here, I've got a bag. I just cleaned it, and what you do is that you can get a paint strainer bag for about a couple of them, I think, for about $5, 1 or 2 of them. Anyways, we'll start to get started. Okay, so what we're going to use for a base malt for a mini mash is there goes in 1 pound. You will get some alcohol out of this, but the biggest reason what I like the mini mashes for is the nice grain taste it'll give you. Let's make sure it's no dough balls. Everyone knows that. And with that much water, I mean, like, you know, the efficiency should be quite high. Okay, Crystal 60. I'm only using a cup of that. So we'll throw that right in. Oh yeah. Smells good. So what I'm going to do is monitor the temperature. You want that between 150 and 160. And that's showing 150 go to 152. So we'll let that sit for an hour, and we'll get back to you. Okay, so the grains have been steeped in there for about 90 minutes. I was going to stir them, put them in there for 60, but I said, no, put it in for a little extra. What I like to do then is just sparge a bit. Sparge your grains. Now I heat that water up to about 170, and we'll be back with you once she starts boiling. Okay, so we get that in there, and before you start a boil, whatever you do, put the DME in her, or the dried malt extract. I used a kilogram. Whoops. Life's nothing like that. Probably mess up her kitchen. Anyways. Oh yeah. If you're talking about dough balls, that's where you get a lot of it. It will, with the boil, it'll come out of her, but take a look in there. See, you still got a lot of stuff like this. When that comes to boil, it'll be the very best. Okay, this is called a heat break, folks. And you really have to watch this, because I put the DME in it, because how she comes up. Just take it off the stove like this, stir it, it'll come down, and look at that. And I'll get back to you when the heat break's done. What we're going to do now, it's pretty well, it was boiling for a while, and I get rid of that heat break. So we're going to put that little sack in there again. Like I say, I use the paint strainer. And we're going to add the pumpkin. We're going to keep that on for at least 30 minutes or so. Watch yourself you don't burn yourself, because that's what it does. Should be quite a nice beer. It's a big beer, but so what we're going to do, mix that around real good. Oh, that smells so good. Pumpkin! Pumpkin! I'm going to leave that on for 30 minutes. I'll get back to you and cheers.
Go.
Okay. We're gonna do, I decided I was gonna use some Amarillo with 8.4 alpha acids, but 6.7 Cascade sounds a little better. Now I've already added a spoonful. I'm going to put another one in there. I'm going to let that go for 60 minutes. Yeah, I just ran out of some space on my camera, so. And with this bag, it doesn't leave all that sediment there, so we'll leave that there for let it boil for another 20 minutes, and we'll add another couple of spoonfuls. Alrighty. Okay, there's 20 minutes left. Throw in one. I'll throw in 2 spoonfuls for aroma hops. In fact, I'll even throw a little bit more. So that's the aroma hops, and that'll come to a boil. And we'll get back at you. Okay, the first 60 minutes, when you put that in, is for the bittering. The second one's for the aroma. And I'm going to put this much and this much for flavoring. And that's when you turn off the heat. And it's just coming to boil, but turn off the heat now. And whatever you do, don't forget that Irish moss. It's a little tablet right there for a clearing agent. There she goes. Just let that go for about 10 minutes. Okay, so what we do is we put that 2.2 pounds or 1 kilogram of brown sugar in it. Make sure it's off the heat. Give that a good stir-ski. And then we add, I got about 1.5 kilograms of liquid malt. I'm adding that right in there. And you want a malt that's not hopped. So you can get muttons if you want, non-hopped. Anything with says not hopped, that's perfect. You're just going to spend extra money first of all for that. If you buy like a Cooper's kit or something like that, and if you do have to, if that's the only way that you can do it, make sure you get a light beer like a Cerveza, because you don't want to overpower it with all the stuff that I'm putting in it. Okay. There she goes. Yeah. That's pretty good stuff. Now, we add our spices. And I'll put the spices down, what I put in it. I did say, but it'd be a lot easier if I put it down there. Second, I might be able to just tell you exactly what's in that. So, in the spices, we have, a half a teaspoon of cloves, a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And if you can get the allspice, which I don't have right here right now, and just put a teaspoon of that in. And that's pretty well it. Now all we're going to do is mix that in. Oh, another little trick is there in that for a yeast energizer, throw an old yeast in it. Doesn't matter what it is, if it's a wine yeast or if it's a beer yeast. If you don't have any energizer, yeast energizer, that'll work just perfect. You won't get any smells of it, won't leave any flavors in it. It'll just help the little yeasties going to work. So, get back to you when we put this to bed. Oh my God, that's some good, I'll tell you that. And one more thing. To the Brew Crew 17, I'd like to say a big thank you to them. And to Steve 45 too. That's where I got the recipe for the spices. He's a pretty good brewer, I'll tell you. Excellent brewer, actually. So if I might even put a link down to Steve 45 so you can check out his channel. He makes all sorts of things. He makes coolers, they're not 12-15% coolers, just out of juice. He makes great beers. And just a big shout out to him. Anyways, we'll get back to you.
No.
And just one more thing, what I did, I took this extract, this imitation maple. Oh, you can smell it too. Just put, well, I put that much out of the bottle, so that's a good tablespoon or more. So try that, put that in there. If you don't want to, that's no problem. First time I ever added that extract, but I think it's going to be just perfect. So we'll see you at when we're ready to transfer it. Cheers. Okay, pick whatever yeast you want and put it in the cup. Lukewarm water, about 70-75 degrees is fine. Add your yeast in there, rehydrate it, let it sit for about 10 minutes, and it's perfect. So I got about, I'd say about 3 gallons in there. I'll top that up full of water. I'll probably get myself a 5% beer anyways. And I'll put that to bed. Cheers. Okay, so the last of it is we rehydrated the yeast. We throw it in. I stir it up a little bit like that. I didn't touch anything because everything was all sanitized. I mix it up. Then I'm going to put this on with an airlock. And that's it. So happy Homebrew Wednesday, guys.